Oh.
Oh.
Whoa. Wait, where's the? Oh, there he is.
Oh, there he is.
For the
Well
What's
done.
up, brother?
blood, joined by the mixologist himself, Mr. HMIC, Julian, your boy Big Money Drew, Shane F. and Husky, and the birthday girl,
The
ladies and
birthday
gentlemen,
girl.
Ashley Rose Nova. Welcome
Merry
to the
birthday.
Roundtable Pros and Podcast. What did you say? Merry Christmas?
Yeah, I said Merry birthday.
Shane,
Mer-
do you
Merry
drink before the
birthday.
show?
No, I may be drunk on Mountain Dew. Who knows?
You probably should
As
drink
always.
before the show. Ashley, how are you doing on the day of your birth today? Let's talk about your birthday. What is up?
Day of the birth.
Not a whole lot, to be honest with you. Didn't do much today.
What do you mean you didn't do much today? It's your birthday. Okay, you got Claudio saying happy birthday?
I didn't watch fucking wrestling. Is that if that's what you mean?
The mod saying happy birthday. Yeah, man. Shit. You know, I mean, man. Throwback is in the house. Reign defending undisputed wicked crazy pinfall podcast. Look at this guy. We're here to celebrate.
Who hasn't even defended since he won it, by the way. Hint,
Jesus
hint.
Christ.
Which
I think it's a little salty, Drew.
That's because I work with unprofessional pricks. So
Touche.
Douche, my friend. Very douche. Did you get to eat some cake?
Did you eat?
I have cake. I haven't eaten it, to be honest with you.
Actually, it is like fucking 10 o'clock. Well, it's like not 10 o'clock where you are.
I'm not a big sweets eater, to be honest with you, but I do have cake. I just haven't eaten it like at all.
Well, since it is your birthday, Julian.
Yes.
What fine alcoholic beverage do you have over there, my friend?
I'm so glad you asked. Today I have a fine bottle of Cocoa Bon, a red blend with an oaky taste and raspberry finishes and a vanilla, background.
Oh,
Sounds
lovely.
Ash, what do you have over there to drink?
I honestly have Gatorade because I don't drink anymore.
God damn it!
Gatorade.
All right. This is what we're
I
gonna
know,
do.
like
Drew.
I've had like okay, I'll be honest with you. What's been going on? Because
Oh my god.
I've been kind of like gloomy, like my whole fucking birthday today, just because of like some personal shit at the same time. But also, it's kind of like one of those things. It's like, have I reached like my peak of my age? At 35.
Let's
what else?
not talk about that shit.
Oh,
You
geez.
revealed your
Ash.
age. Oh my gosh.
Ash, you're talking to somebody who turned 51 last year. You have not reached the peak of anything yet.
You're 51.
What else can I accomplish in life? Really?
48 years
There
old.
is so
okay?
much more left for you. Believe you me. I can tell you, I for one, during my birthdays, I get a little. I'm not going to say down, but I get very pensive because I always get to this point in my head where I'm like, oh, have I done everything that I wanted to do by this age? What have I accomplished compared to what I had planned? Blah, 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 blah. Life throws you curveballs.
Yes.
Number two, you are exactly where you were supposed to be at this point in your life.
So I keep telling myself.
Everything that you have done, every experience that you've had has made you the person that you are. Good and bad. We don't learn from our failure, or we don't learn from our successes. We learn from our failures, and you just have to build on those and keep on moving forward. And just being a perpetual learner, being passionate about what you enjoy in life. The people at my job think it's hilarious because at one moment they're talking to a chemical engineer who's heavily involved in water treatment all across the state of California. And then they find out that I'm hosting or co-hosting a professional wrestling podcast 3 times a week. And they're like, how does that work? And I go, hey guys, wrestling has been there all my life. And It's always been a passion of mine. It's something that I have always found safety, fun, entertainment, security in. And, between that, my dog, my kids, the rest of my family, this is what I do. And that's what makes me the rounded person that I am. And so just man, appreciate everything about your life that you have going on. If some folks got to go, let them go.
They got the boot.
Hey, just like if you ever watch Beverly Hills 90210, there is always that like one character. There's that one character of the episode who is like really important, who you never saw again after that episode. Some people come into your life for one episode. They may come back later on, but you know what? They serve their purpose.
That normally happens.
Storyline, and that's it. Come in, come out, man.
I was told once that people are around your life for a reason or a season. You know what I mean?
Got that right.
I think it can be a blessing or a lesson. So with that being
bad.
said, those people that are in your life that are around through the good, the bad, the fat, the skinny, the ugly, the tall, the short, the stocky, whatever you want to call it, the old, the young, those are the people that are going to be there all the time.
All your life.
The time. Those are the ones that you can count on where you can call 3 o'clock in the morning and be like, hey, I got this going on. Where you can say, hey, I want to have a mukbang today, or hey,
mukbang.
You know what I'm saying? Those are the people you can count on. Those are friends. Those are real family, because family is not always blood. In this wrestling world, professional wrestling has brought so much family.
Yeah.
This podcasting gimmick, this podcasting world brought me so much family. I mean, it brought me you, it brought me Julian, it brought me Shane, it brought me Drew, it brought me a whole host of Kate, Elizabeth. It brought me the throwbacks. It brought me the Chris Parishes. It brought me all of these people. You know what I'm saying? Like all these people have just come. The Claudios, the fucking Bebes, the Annie Kings. The small town writers. All these people that are in your life. They come for a reason, and they're either here to they're here, like I said, they're here to enhance you. You are, like I said in the text I sent you earlier, you're an amazing person, and regardless of what the world thinks, the world can kiss your ass. You don't owe the world shit.
Nope.
In the grand scheme of things, you don't owe the world shit.
Yeah, it's been one of those crazy 2 weeks of my life. And
but it's been a successful 2 weeks of your life too. Think about the cool shit that you got going.
Yeah, and it's like I was telling a friend of mine earlier on the phone, and I told her it's crazy how much shit changes, but yet it's like people want to act like I don't fucking remember shit.
Yep.
At the same time. And I told her also it's like, and I've always said this, you may not like everything that I do, and that's totally cool. It is by all means in all aspects. You may not like everything I do, but if you're either going to get over it or it's just I'm not going to hear from you again. Simple as that.
Hey, let's put things in perspective. You're turning 35 years old. That means that you have spent 1,820 weeks on this planet.
God damn you, Julian.
Wow.
God damn you. We're going to count those days. Don't you dare do me.
Wow.
Out of 2 weeks, that is only 0.11% of your life. So don't let the 1.11% ruin your day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's
that's fact.
So, it's one of those things that I'm kind of like, have I done everything? What once the goal's met, what's next? And also I was doing a lot of reflecting the past day and a half as to far as am I making the right decisions in life? Not to sound this is a completely tone of seriousness this year, but I guess apparently this is normal that this happens.
But you know what? That makes you a smart person. Most smart people will be introspective. They will reflect on their lives, and they will ask themselves, am I doing the right thing? But remember, it's your life. You can do whatever you want. You can do something. You can do nothing. You can do whatever you want to do. And much like the old claymation Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer
God.
TV show, or sorry, it was the Baby New Year one, where he said, "You put one foot in front of the other, and next thing you're walking out the door." You can walk in any
Oh, I
direction
haven't
you want
seen
to.
that in years. Damn it, Julian. But
I hate you guys. First, Julian up here
that
calculating
was
how
my
many hours
favorite
and
Rudolph
weeks
the
and shit.
Red-Nosed Reindeer movie. Like, come on
Now I'm over
now.
here feeling bad for myself. Like I'm the oldest person. I'm the second oldest person
I
on
think
this
I'm the
podcast.
youngest. I'm the youngest in this podcast. I'm the youngest.
Well,
I think
why
I
do you
think
think I
Drew's the
always ask
youngest.
you
Drew's
for-
only
why-
18.
Like, why do you think I always ask you for advice? Like when it's like just too heavy.
True. I'm at a
'Cause
reboot
you're
my
the-
life in Babylon. Julian who spoke to me.
Oh,
Hey man,
Ashley,
bro, like,
you know,
we speak. We speak.
Ash, sometimes when you're surrounded by empty-headed dumb fucks,
mhm.
you need to just take them in the back in a locker room and start swinging and throwing chairs at them.
And buy
Ace
them.
Steel?
And buy them.
I, you gonna be the Ace Steel
Hey, man.
in this situation? Just like,
Hey man, look,
I just
you can do that. And you can also bite somebody too.
oh wow, we going
I
Ace
also
Steel.
want to point this out that this is nothing new that's happened in pro wrestling.
Right.
This is something that happens all the time. You just don't know about it.
There's more than you guys know.
Because like everyone like disagrees with each other, or like at least like two people are going to clash based off of whatever their ego may be that day, or whatever personality, whatever they got going on at home, or whatever they got going on in life that they disagree with, you know.
True.
Yeah, I was all this like, so to me it wasn't a surprise, but I honestly like got more humor out of it, even though I probably shouldn't have gotten as much humor out of it, because I'm like, y'all do know this happens like in the back a lot.
But it was so funny, you know, and the fact that it happened and people are like, I fucking can't believe this happened, dude. It happens far
Right.
more than
It happens more than you
and-
think.
yeah, far more than we're willing to admit sometimes.
Some people disagree on a spot, it turns into a whole thing.
Yep.
Yeah, trust me, I know.
Oh, I know you
I
know.
fucking know.
I know you know.
Oh,
I know
man.
too.
Claudia,
Turns
come
into
on
like
now.
hating, turns into like a hatred for like 20 years.
Wow, no, we're not starting.
We're not
We're
doing
not
this tonight,
starting the
man.
queen shit.
We're not doing
No.
this tonight.
No, you guys realize William Rico wasn't on the show this week, right?
We're not doing this tonight, man.
We're not doing it. We're not
That's
fucking
bad.
doing it.
Put the fan hammer on that tonight.
Oh,
Sorry,
man.
allergies.
So
But no,
So,
no, that's
Ash-
what my whole day is reflecting on my life. Like, am I even making the right decisions? What is next? I don't know.
just like Kardashian booty.
Kardashian booty.
Hey, so Jesus Christ.
Whew, that's very
Uh,
unprofessional.
Here we go.
So I was actually on a flight from Seattle to Burbank, and Kim Kardashian was on our flight. And the rumors are true. That booty is thick as hell.
Mm.
But she has a great tailor. She has a fantastic tailor.
I bet. Is his name Lawrence Taylor? Never mind. Anyway, so Ash, let's talk about what's going on in your world. Like what
What
new
is going
business
on?
ventures have you come up with? Like
What is going on?
I know on Twitter you've been talking about some things. You've been throwing out some like hints, some dirt, some tea. You know, like I mean, you know, we've been talking about like Playboy and things like. Let's talk about that. Let's get that shit out there. Let's promote the fuck out of this business before we get into the wrestling.
Oh.
We're getting to the wrestling that I didn't watch at all today, but
Oh yeah,
That's
it's
okay.
all right. I mean, we can talk about we're here to talk about what's going on with you and your professional life before we talk about the WWE and AEW
oh
stuff.
Jesus. Where do you want to start, man? You want to start about
Hey,
like
the-
being that right
The floor is yours.
Dude, this man, I don't know what it is with Streamlabs. I guess it's because the background's white. Like it's like too much lighting in my area.
Yeah.
does that. It bothers me every fucking time.
Streamlabs do that. Streamlabs do have too much lighting. Even when you're in the complete darkness, it has a lot of lighting.
Yeah, no, it does. You're right. Anyways, I don't know. Where do you want to start? You want to start with my writing career? You want to start with like podcasting? Where should I start?
Start with writing career.
Writing career.
Okay, so pro wrestling wise, I set a deadline. I am hanging up the keyboard for pro wrestling writing. On October 31st, my last article will be released. On Halloween.
Oh, that's awesome. That's an awesome date.
Yeah, on Halloween. Figured I'd go all out on that day. I'm not telling people what the article is, but it is my last editorial article that will be written, involving just anything pro wrestling history wise. It's been something I've been working on for a year. So it is a pretty large piece. And I'll still be in wrestling media. However, I will be just doing podcasting and interviews.
Oh.
Primarily involving independent wrestling and Impact only.
Okay. Impact is a great show. For anybody who doesn't get a chance to watch it, you can find it on Sling TV. You can find it on different outlets. But aside from the crappy time slot that it's got, and
very crappy,
and the little bit of advertising that it has, it's a good show.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad that someone's going to do stuff. Impact Wrestling representative. I'm happy for that.
Be sure to check it out. So you've got a great product that you'll be covering.
I mean, I cover it, but it's just primarily what I'm going to be doing now. I'll still be at TWM until I decide to officially leave. But we will be moving our indie podcast to a different. We're going to become a B show for another podcast. Hopefully, I should be announcing that because it's not complete yet. But if everything goes as planned, we're going to be involved with that. Other, a couple of friends of mine. Hopefully, if it goes as planned. If not, we're still going to do the podcast. We're going to be making a lot of changes to it. And I will be primarily focused on interviewing. Writing-wise, for wrestling, I'm kind of tired of writing about wrestling, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I've been doing it for like 7 years. So there's that. I think I've kind of done everything I could do.
As far as the indie scene goes, number one, if you look at the PWI 500, everything from 100 down is mostly indie. So you've got 400 people to interview. That's a lot of talent. That's a lot of material to cover.
Yes.
Number two, I love indie shows. Mainly down here in Southern California, we get PCW Ultra. And I try to hit up their shows. They come out about once a quarter down here. So I try to hit up their shows, and I get to see Jacob Fatu and Fatu and a bunch of other guys. That JTG was here last time. So was Ron Simmons. Just a lot of talent that you are really awesome that you just don't get to see in your mainstream television shows. So what about, will you be covering MLW?
That's not fully discussed yet because it's a team. We're going to do the best that we can. I can only handle as much as I can. Tiff can only handle as much as she can. Jameis can only handle as much as we can. So we're working out the logistics as far as how that's going to work. And hopefully that dynamic and everything will be completed after I finish my last article. I do have to make a trip in October to finish my last article, which everyone wish me luck on that. So I've always, people always ask me like how I approached, like my writing, because I never was like really a scoops person. I did a couple scoops here or there back in the day.
Sure.
I I was mainly like an editorial writer. Oh my god, I can't talk. Editorial writer, like a columnist for like magazines, things like that. I hardly did reviews. I did a few reviews here or there. I still kind of do. I usually just cover basic news, announcements, and I would write wrestling history, which is what I was known for doing. Whether people respect me for it, they don't respect me, it's cool. I get it. I'm not a scoops person, so I'm the worst fucking writer, right? Because I've heard that before. Anytime I've done a major piece, I've always gone to where it always started because, and I tell people it's a different approach. How am I supposed to write something and understand it from where you started if I don't know anything about that place?
Sure.
Which is why I was decent at my job. I watched seminars. I took seminars, even though I was not a wrestler. How am I going to write about something that I don't fucking know what you go through?
Sure.
Makes sense.
So whether people like it or not, or people don't understand, like the most ridiculous fucking tweet I ever saw was from a writer at some platform that had like less than 10K writers saying that they didn't understand why it was a big deal. But yet you're the same asshole that's copying Sean Ross Sapp's news.
Oh, that's some BS right there.
Or you're copying what's in the Wrestling Observer. But yet you want to talk about how I'm like not that great of a fucking writer. You don't understand how like that, if I'm important or not, that's fucking on you. So yeah, like don't get mad at me because people read my shit and they don't want to read your shit that's been passed around that you've copied from someone else.
You do know that people openly hate on other people just for clicks, just for clickbait.
Yeah.
Yep.
So don't even worry about it.
Haters are your biggest fans in the words of Babylon.
Hey, just so you know, being a wrestling historian, especially as a writer, is awesome because a lot of people don't realize how many recycled gimmicks there are today.
Oh yeah.
And that there have
There's
been.
so
There's
much.
a fucking lot.
There's so much.
And I mean, recycled gimmicks in terms of people's gimmicks and storylines. And a lot of the stuff came out of the AWA. A lot of the stuff came from Vern Gagne. A lot of the stuff came from Jerry Lawler's promotions for the Mid-South. There's nothing new under the sun. It's been there for so long.
We like to call it borrowing. We borrow.
If you know where it came from, and you know what they say: if you're going to steal from the best.
Yeah.
So, so when you see some gimmick and it's new to you, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's new.
Exactly.
And people don't always, they don't always acknowledge or recognize that, hey, this has been done before. You just never saw it. If this could have come out of FCW.
For all you know, yeah, exactly.
Thanks.
So that's where it stands. I'm going to concentrate more on podcasting, interviewing, until I decide to just completely leave wrestling media. We'll see how that goes. I've tried leaving a couple times, and I end up getting brought back in a month.
Yeah, you can never leave. You can never fucking leave. Wrestling media is like the sport of professional wrestling.
It's the love and the passion.
It's like a drug. Once you're here, you're stuck. You're stuck.
There's always monster truck media.
Monster truck media. Monster.
That's
Monster media.
Sunday.
But
be there.
Yeah, so like there's that. I'm sure some people are going to like the fact that I'm not going to be writing anymore, but those same people are probably going to be angry that I'm still in wrestling media, so it is what it is. So that was like, that's also kind of why I've been gloomy too. Like, it's kind of like, have I done everything? Like, is this really it?
You know what? I'll tell you. I had a come to Jesus moment. That's what I can call it. A come to Jesus moment. Not too long ago. Turned 48 years old, and I've done a lot of shit in wrestling. I've done a whole lot of shit in wrestling, and sometimes you don't realize all the shit you've done until someone really points it out.
Yeah.
And it amazes me that like fuck, I've done a lot of shit, but I don't feel like I've done a lot of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I've been around 30 years. 30 years is a long time. But
Long
in the
time.
grand scheme of things, I kind of feel like, man, like what have I done? I mean, I have a trophy case full of belts. Yeah, I have a lot of accolades. I have all this shit that's happened all over my career. But at the end of the day, like, do I feel like I really did anything? You have to look at, and someone told me, look at the things that you've done and look at how people perceive the things that you've done. I said, what does that even mean? The other day, I was at a WWE Monday Night Raw. I was in the skybox, sitting there with a bunch of guys, and this guy, he's like, dude, it is an honor and a privilege to hang out with you watching WWE.
No.
I was like, sure. Like, thanks, man. And he was like, I remember the night you wrestled for the NWA World Championship in Portland, Oregon. You were so close to beating Tim Storm for that world title, man. I can see it. And then at the end of the night, you were sitting in the ring. You sat down on your butt and you start crying. And you were so emotional. And I thought to myself, how the fuck do you remember that? That was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was when I first started around
think about it.
BCW, which is crazy.
Exactly. And it's like, and then another person that said something to me the other day. They were like, dude, I saw that you were ranked 343 out of the top 500 black wrestlers in the world.
That's
I'm like,
awesome.
It's pretty fucking cool. Oh, dude, I remember you were ranked like number 211 in the PWI 500. And I remember this and I remember this. And this guy showed me a picture of when I was like 13, 14 years ago. And I'm like, who fucking has these things? Like, I don't even have those things.
Super.
You know what I'm saying? So you really just got to sit back and think like, yo, like sometimes you've done more than you really truly think. Like you've inspired people. I mean, like you've inspired me to start this Twitch channel with you guys. So haters are just your fans in denial. Remember that. Always remember that.
Yeah, no, it's
always.
It's not necessarily that.
Remember this. In the words of Cat Williams, if you got 16 haters, you fucking up because you need to have 17 before summer. Remember that. Just remember that shit.
Also, don't forget from House Party, what the dad in the movie told his son. He said, son, be yourself. People who don't like you for being yourself, fuck them. Fuck them against the wall with handcuffs on and crazy glue on their lips. Fuck them.
Yeah.
And
fuck them.
I mean,
with handcuffs.
It's kind of one of those things. Like I've had, people may disagree with a lot of shit that I fucking do. Which is going to lead into what we're going to talk about. And I get it from both men, women. It doesn't matter. Like, I did the things that I did because when I was in my 20s, like when I started, I always fucking grinded. I even made a post about it on Instagram because every year, the night before the 16th, on the 15th of every year, I reflect on my career and my life and the things I've done. And this year, it wasn't that long. I thanked everyone, for who supported me. I thanked people who read, when I was, I don't know, like 25, 26, I can't even remember anymore. I was in my mid 20s, something like that. Not like mid, maybe late 20s when I got into wrestling media. It's all a blur now, okay? But it's been like over 7 years. 7 years or over 7 years already at this point. I stopped counting. You stopped counting. you know. And I remember I was grateful to have 1,000 followers. And I was grateful that 5 people read my article. And I'm happy to say those 5 people are still following me everywhere I go to this day. One of them, I believe, even it's been a long time since I have him on Instagram. He ended up becoming an indie wrestler. I think he might have actually worked at PCW Ultra. Like, people think I don't pay attention, but I pay attention, especially after that long, and I reflect on things, and I may not say anything to you anymore, but I still see what you're doing. So, you know, when I worked at Steel Chair, like, as much as, like, it was so stressful for me, I'm incredibly grateful to my editor, my boss, who's still in my life to this day, regardless of how much I fuck up in life. Stephanie, you know, it was just an honor to work with her. And as well as she trained me to accomplish a lot of things. I owe a lot of my success in this industry to her. Because she prepared me. Without, as stubborn as I fucking was, she always said that I was so, not necessarily passionate. I was so, what's the word she used? Persistent. Because I just wanted things to be easier, you know, like, because wrestling media was not fucking easy for me, especially as a woman. Believe it or not, it wasn't easy for me at the time. And you know, I can understand how people are upset about a lot of things that I've done. But I was always a person that, like, I always felt like I was hitting like a glass ceiling to things. Like, everything was I don't know if you ever gotten to that point in your career where it's like you want more, but you can't figure out how to, like, just break the level that you're at.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's fucking natural. That's so natural.
And there were a lot of things I wanted in life. I persistently kept, the important thing is, you know, one thing I've learned is you got to adapt. You got to adapt. You got to change. I mean, I know it's particularly like something that has to be done in wrestling in general, but you got to adapt. You got to change all the time. Just try to keep it fresh as much as you can. But I did a lot of the things that I did. And I remember when someone, like, was so fucking angry, and it was a chick, you know, someone that just can't fucking stand me for reasons. And the more that they say that they can't stand you, they start putting out the reason why. Because she wanted to be involved in the business, but she doesn't have the integrity to actually go out there and do it. That women like me were making it harder for women in wrestling media because of the things that I did. Like, I sold photos to suicide girls. Yeah, I fucking did. I participated in Maximum. I participated in Inked. These are all things, I did these things because I wanted to do them. I did OnlyFans because why am I going to let someone else profit off of me when I can profit off myself? When I'm completely comfortable with my own body and how I look, why is this an issue?
Well, and then, you know, you also think of this too. Professional wrestling is the same way. Guys have gimmicks. Guys do things in the ring. Like this, like for instance, this last, like 2 weeks ago, this whole AEW situation. Like guys are doing things to benefit themselves. And in a sense, like in this industry, you're selling your gimmicks, you're making your money. You know what I mean? Like you're building, you're doing it for you. I mean, you're doing it for you. So do it for you. Fuck what people have to say. If they're
Yeah.
not paying your bills, if they're
Um,
not putting you over, then you
yeah,
got
but
you got
that
if you don't want you want to get put over, you got to put yourself over. You know what I mean?
but that women like
Yeah.
me that wanted to be in the industry make it harder because of those decisions. And I was kind of like, so are we reverting backwards in time at this point?
Hey, you know what? Always remember what Scott Hall said. Am I in the business to make money, or am I in the business to make friends? I got
Yeah.
enough friends. Let me go make some money. Haters
Yeah.
aren't paying your bills. I mean, they could be actually, because the more haters you got, people are going to be clicking on you and wondering.
Yeah, no, like one of like might have been the same person, I don't know, was there just fucking ripping my article apart, and I'm like, bitch, you don't have a college education, you probably didn't graduate from high school. you are not even like acknowledged in any aspect of that type of industry or career, even as a writer. But yeah, by all means, if you have a problem with my sentence structure, hey, that's your choice. Like, it's not my fault you're not fucking intelligent enough to understand. Like,
Yokozuna told me this many, many, many years ago. I was contemplating like walking away from the industry. I fucking was like, dude, I'm done with this. This is ridiculous. I can't believe, like, why are people so hateful and why are people so, like it stressed me out. Like it really stressed me out. And he said to me, good press or bad press, they're still talking about you.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone's gonna go look at an article. Oh man, Ashley, she fucking sucks. Her articles are crap. Man, look at this. And they're gonna look at it and go, it's freaking pretty good.
Yeah.
No, the funny thing is the shit that they say, they don't realize it's because they read my article.
Correct.
And then they realize like I wrote it, and then they just have nothing to fucking say.
Yep.
Because no one ever pays attention to the name. And
there it is.
Like, no, that's the legit truth. And it's like, that my actions, like doing these things, I've been told so much shit. I'm just going over it to vent it because it just like, it's the most stupidest shit I've ever heard. That my actions like that are progressively pushing women back. And I'm like, I don't understand that. The things I do, I was just trying to do things that I wanted to do. And to break, I guess in a weird way, a weird boundary in an aspect. At the end of the day, like,
yeah, because we're just all so dismayed at the number of bra and panties matches that we're getting these days, and that women aren't getting any screen time on all the shows that are on TV. That's ridiculous. I mean, in terms of wrestling media, women have come tremendously further than they did during the Attitude Era. And the number of women writers out there and fans who are being drawn in because of that. I mean, how many times do you see these meet and greets or these live events where young girls are just coming up to see all their favorite female wrestlers? And how many female wrestlers you see now who have pictures of themselves when they were in high school, taking pictures with their favorite women wrestlers from back in the day, and if you have
wasn't Bailey one of those?
Right?
Yeah, Bailey was one of them.
Yeah, Bailey was one of them.
And if you have women who are there to write about it, who are fans, I mean, there are people who are either going to be in the ring because they can, or the people who are going to talk about it on podcasts, or who are going to write about it. I mean, whatever the media is, you're being a fan and you're getting the product out there and you're sharing your passion for the product with other people. And a fan is a fan. And if they don't want to read your article, there's plenty of other articles or women writers out there that they can subscribe to or that they can click on. But the fact that they're clicking on yours just to hate on it, They're still clicking.
Yeah, and they're still talking about it.
And the thing is, it's not that, and this is what I've said before, it's not that I'm bad at my job. I'm actually very fucking good at my job. Believe it or not. I'm actually very fucking good. You know, and that's the thing, is like, you know, I may not work for a lot of like other platforms, but I've worked for a number of them. And like I said, you know, I can't, like, you know, there for a while I was apologizing too. I was like, I'm sorry if anything I've done really affected media and the aspect of that. But I just want to say I did those things because I wanted to do them. And you may not see how important it is now, but it is going to be important in another 5 to 10 years. Which leads to the next point. Instead of us
I'll tell you this before you go any further. You've come a long way in the last like 2 years. I'll tell you, like, I've watched you grow so much in the last 2 years, and I'm proud of you. I mean, I've seen you overcome a lot of bullshit. I've seen you overcome a lot of drama, and you've become such a very integral part in the pro wrestling media, like atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? Drew, what do you think about this?
I think that, you know, in a lot of ways, I feel very similar to Ash. Specifically, you know, we all think about what are we doing wrong versus what we're doing right, and the criticisms versus the positives, and I think it's just like a natural human thing, right? It feels like it's, you know, we have to look at the negative, and we have to look at everything that makes us down on ourselves. Oh, I didn't do this properly. Oh, you know, somebody's shitting on here, shitting there. And I've had a lot of that. I still have that to this day. It's you know, I haven't done, you know, an extensive bit of wrestling stuff, but you know, I've worked on Cape Side Seats. I've wrote there for a while, and then you know, I do some work with Fightful now. But it's every day I still feel like, you know, I don't want to put him on blast, but you know, Jeremy Lambert, who works at Fightful, you know, he's legitimately one of the best things of Fightful, one of the best dudes, and every day feels like he's letting somebody down. You know, he tweets about this, not like it's something he shared in private, but
yeah.
You think like the headline king of Fightful that got a legitimate Bryan Danielson shirt on AEW shop.
Oh, that's right, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Would be on top of the world and would never have a thing to care about, but he still every single day, you know, is his toughest critic, 100%. And I think that's what we all almost strive to be, in a way, is our own toughest critic. So I commend all the work that you've done, and thankfully you're not leaving. You're just doing your last writing portion on October 31st. And I know that you're going to kick ass, continuing to go to better heights than you've gone.
Oh, thanks, Drew. Like, I really appreciate it.
Hey Ash, I just want to say I'm going to go a little bit zen just for a moment here.
Go for it.
A guy by the name of Don Miguel Ruiz wrote a book called The Four Agreements.
I have that book.
Wonderful book. And the four agreements are: be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, don't make assumptions, and always do your best. And under don't take anything personally, he says, nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a result of their own dream or perception of their rules. We all make rules about how things should be, but when you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering.
Yeah. It's one of the few things I've been working on. Like I said, like if anything that COVID made me do, it made me stop like burning the candle on both ends. I did a lot of like soul searching. I did a lot of enlightenment work, therapy. I'm coping the best that I can. But yes, that is true. But I'm still working. I still have a lot of things I have to work on, clearly.
Well, I mean, honestly, it sounds like you've got your head on right. I mean,
Yep.
that's what it sounds like to me.
I really fucking try, and I try to just like.
That is true, Anna King. That is
Yeah,
definitely true.
I fucking try. I'll be honest with you. I fucking try, man. I fucking try every fucking day, man. Like, and then there's just some days that I'm like, do y'all ever realize how you fucking act?
Yeah.
Some
but
people
for
and their
long-
kids. That's how I feel. Some people and their kids.
And for a long time, I was just kind of like, I was always seeking the approval of my peers, too. I was seeking the approval of my peers in the beginning of my career. And little did they know that they
Well, let me tell you.
Mhm.
I got a message right now. She just sent it to me from Nikita Lyons. She posted success, hard work, persistence, late nights, rejection, sacrifice, discipline, criticism, doubts, failure, and risk. That all equals success. If you're not doing it, if you're not trying it, if you're not believing in yourself, then you are a failure. You are not a failure. You have gone out and created a whole ass career. You know what I'm saying? Out of something you like. Not many people fucking, she's the best. Not many people fucking, not many people can do what they do.
That is true.
And you're doing it.
Tell Nikita that I appreciate it. And also tell her I'm a big fan. I'm a big fucking fan of her.
That's the one that dealt with a lot of criticism because.
No, I'm serious. I am a big fucking fan of hers. At NXT.
Like you've built a legacy. Straight up. You've built a legacy. And you know what?
Legacy.
My biggest cheerleaders tell me the same thing, man. And it's hard for me.
Bullshit name that I was like pretty much given because there was too many Ashley Roses.
Yeah, you'll get that. You'll get that. Sorry, this thing cannot be filled because there's too many of them.
Well, it's kind of like if you think about it, like look at AEW. How many pages are there?
Oh my god, there's a lot. Right?
Oh my god.
And you see why
there was Diamond Dallas Page. There was Adam Page. There's fucking
Brian Cage.
Ethan Page. Christian Cage.
And now we know why WWE gets rid of first names. Like, come on now.
Man.
But yeah, no. Tell her I'm a big fan of hers.
I'll send her a text back.
I am a big fucking fan of hers.
She is very good.
I don't care what they say. I always just
Shane just said that because she's saying him happy birthday.
No, I actually believe that she's really good and she's a future NXT Women's Champion.
Honestly, I always just equated to people hating on her out of jealousy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
and the sad thing is,
she's gorgeous. She is.
I'm one of these people that will. I'll tell you like it is. I don't care if you get mad at me or not. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm going to tell you straight up. And she's one of the most nicest, genuine human beings that I've ever met. Like, she's hardworking. Like, before she was in the WWE, before she was doing all that, I mean, she worked like she was doing like boxing. She was teaching boxing at Mayweather's gym. She was doing music videos, writing, performing, editing, do all her own fucking shit. You know what I mean?
She's a really good singer too. I listened to
she's
her
acting.
songs.
She's doing all of it, and she's not even 25. Like, she's doing all of this stuff. Like, dude, I did a lot of shit before I was 25. But come on.
Damn. Yeah. No, every time I see someone talking about it, I was like, that just looks like jealousy to me.
Yeah.
Like I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
And
But
she doesn't hate on people. Like she's always like all about peace and light. She's all about peace, love, and light, and all that. You know, and the world needs more people like that. Me
Yes.
personally, I always say, I don't know, man. I am, I'm not. I always say I'm not a good person. I lived a life by saying that I'm not a good person, and people get on me all the time. Dude, you're a fucking great person. You help people out. You do this, you do that. You're so you're this, you're that.
Really,
I
I
don't
am.
see it. I don't see it. I
maybe
see
because
that I'm just doing things because
you've been the hill for so long.
fuck, dude.
You've been the hill for like so long.
Yes.
Yeah, like things like that. And I'm like, y'all may not see how it's important now, but I truly think that you will see how important it is. Which leads to the next thing is like, yes, I did.
Wait, before you go to the next thing, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are following us on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, anything else, I will very much like for you to go right now. Right now.
We're
to
going
Twitch,
to pull
because
on the Twitch.
we're going to go right on to the Twitch channel, and we're going to be gone from here. So you literally have less than 3 minutes. Once we come back
Somebody
from
say
commercial break,
3 minutes.
we will only be on Twitch. We will be right back. God damn you, Shane.